This is the BBC News with Fiona MacDonald. The UN Security Council has called on Israel and the Palestinians to fully adhere to the ceasefire that began on Friday morning. In its first statement on the recent conflict, the Council also stressed the need for humanitarian assistance to Palestinian civilians. A senior UN humanitarian official for the region, Lynn Hastings, visited some of the most badly damaged areas of Gaza, including the Palestinian Ministry of Health Medical Center for COVID testing.
This was a building where I've just met the father and the daughter of a family of 7. All the other 5 members of the family have died. They were all civilians, so you can see it's not just about infrastructure damage, but it's about the loss of entire families. I've been speaking to the families here, and what they've all said is they have no hope. They feel that they have no control of their lives, and their situation is, one woman said, helpless.
The government in the Democratic Republic of Congo has ordered residents to leave the eastern city of Goma following the eruption of a large volcano on Saturday. The evacuation order came as a new fracture opened up on Mount Nyiragongo, enabling lava to flow south towards Goma and reach the airport. Reha Kansara is following the story.
The pictures are truly remarkable. Molten lava bursts from the ground into a thick orange cloud that illuminates the eastern city of Goma. Posts on social media show locals running in desperation, whilst others stare at it with fascination. The last time Mount Nyiragongo erupted, its consequences were devastating. 250 people died and hundreds of thousands were left homeless after lava flowed into Goma.
The Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has called on motorcyclists to rally in their hundreds on the streets of Rio de Janeiro on Sunday in a deliberate breach of the country's coronavirus restrictions. Richard Howells has this report.
President Bolsonaro is a keen motorcyclist, and his call to get fellow biking supporters revved up for a mass ride is not his first such stunt. But with Sunday's planned ride, he's sneering at COVID regulations. On Friday, he was fined by the governor of the northeastern state of Maranhão for breaking a local ban on public events of more than 100 people and not wearing a face mask. The president is no fan of coronavirus restrictions and likes to project himself as a man of the people.
Argentina has begun a strict 9-day lockdown as a second wave of coronavirus threatens to overwhelm its health service. Argentina is seeing record levels of infection, with 39,000 new cases reported on Wednesday. A doctor at one of the major hospitals in Buenos Aires told the BBC it was almost at 100% capacity. World News from the BBC. Colombia's High Commissioner for Peace has announced his resignation from the government in the midst of talks to resolve nearly a month of social unrest and anti-government protests. Miguel Ceballos has been leading negotiations between the government and the National Strike Committee, which has been organising the protests. He has also led efforts to establish negotiations with the armed rebel ELN group. In an interview, Mr. Ceballos says he had told President Ivan Duque last December that he would be stepping down. The authorities in the United States say Haitians living there will be temporarily eligible for a humanitarian program that protects them from deportation and issues work permits. The Department for Homeland Security said Haitian nationals could not safely go home because of increasing insecurity, social unrest, human rights abuses and crippling poverty. This year's Eurovision Song Contest, held after 2 years because of 2020's cancellation, has been won by Italy. The winning song, Zitti e Buoni, in hard rock style, was performed by the band Måneskin. Getting their award, the group said rock and roll never dies. France came second and Switzerland third. At the very bottom was the United Kingdom, receiving 0 points both from the judges and the public. Clashing directly with Eurovision was a virtual edition of Glastonbury, Britain's famous contemporary music festival held on a Somerset farm. The in-person event had to be cancelled for a second year because of COVID, but a technical fault meant thousands of fans who'd bought streaming tickets couldn't access the site. Organisers sent out a free link in time for everyone to view an atmospheric sunset performance by the American band Haim. BBC News.